here today at Lavender Hall Fishery. Now I'm quite excited about today because this is a venue I've never fished before, and it's going to be fun finding out what we're in store for. I have no idea. I've deliberately tried not to find out too much about it. I haven't spoken to anyone that's fished any of the matches because I want to get back to just having a bit of fun and finding out what's in store for us today. We've got a lovely looking margin up the edge here and some open water in front of us, so that's what we're going to do. It's going to be great fun and I'm really looking forward to the day. Now, as I said, we're here at Lavender Hall Fishery. The Laurie family run this fishery. They also run a fantastic tackle shop just up here. It's well stocked with all the big brands, and they also have the cafe. Now the cafe is legendary, let me tell you. It's always buzzing. There's people come from miles around just to come to the cafe. In fact, I think half the Warwickshire police force use this cafe. Probably shouldn't say that. I don't know if they're at stakeouts or whatever, but they do anyway. So many years ago now, actually, I won some money on a festival and I bought one of those DeLonghi bean to cup coffee machines. Now, fatal mistake to make because you become a complete coffee snob. You're at home having the best coffee every day. Now, first time I came here, do you want a coffee? Yeah, I'll have a black coffee, please. And I tell you what, the coffee here is to die for. They've got a big barista style coffee machine I love, and it makes the best coffee. But anyway, we're here today to do some fishing and I'm really looking forward to the day. So as I said at the start, I really don't know what to expect today. You know, I don't know if all the fish are going to be those little tiny stockies, whether we're going to catch any bigger fish, if there's other species. I really have tried to find out as little as possible, just to make the day more fun for me. But that's a great little start. It's a beautiful little fish just caught there, first one, and first drop in as well. So it's a good start. A nice, beautiful little stocky fish. So I've started on a 0.3 float. It's only about 3.5 foot deep. I've just got a strung out number 9 shot on the rig. I've got a 4-inch hook length, which is 0.14 to a size 18 SLWG hook, and a band and a 4mm. I've started on 0.14 because it kind of gives me the best of all options. If you know that little fish, that stocky fish, you might want to probably fish 0.10 if you knew you were going to catch those all day, but we don't. And there may be some better carp in, and 0.14 gives us the best kind of cross, I suppose, in between potentially catching something decent and those little fish. And you know, getting bites, we want to get bites, but at the same time, if we do catch something better, we want a good chance of landing it. The water's still fairly cold. I mean, we're nearly in May now, and this time last year, crikey, we were all in shorts, flip-flops. It was 25 degrees, but we have had, I reckon, 3 solid weeks of high pressure, northeast winds, east winds, frosts overnight. So the fisheries up and down the country are going to be well behind where they were, certainly this time last year. So it's kind of ease our way in today, I think. I've got the float dotted down, getting lots of little indications already, which seems to suggest that there may be a few smaller fish out there. And if it transpires we catch these small fish, then I can obviously find down and see if that makes any difference to getting more positive bites, for example. But we're going to stick as we are for now. So we're very, very early into the session, and yeah, it's a lovely little start with that little ghosty. So we're in again. I think this is another, yeah, same stamp of fish. I think it's the last one. I've got my double pole roller behind me. It's my pole roller in a tree, basically. The elastic is the Fighter 1.8mm. Which is perfect for these sort of fishing. Gives us a good chance with the better fish, and it comes out nicely for these little stockies. A slightly better fish, this one. Yeah, definitely a better stamp. I've got some different coloured hookers here as well, which is something I've just found in a shop recently. I've got some hard hookers in 4 mils in white, green and red. So we can try those during the day and see if there's any difference, if they make any difference to getting bites quicker, if the fish seem to prefer any colour. Just on a natural at the minute, but it gives us an option for later on. Lovely little things they are. I mean, plumbing up earlier, it's fairly flat all the way from almost the top kit right the way out as far as you can see there. I've got a beautiful looking margin, that edge to my right hand side, which I didn't want to start on straight away because I want to sort of start feeding that, and hopefully we'll catch some better fish there a bit later on. So if I go to my right, it does start to shelve up from about 1 metre to the right of where I'm fishing. So I'm at the bottom of a slope effectively. Now, always a good place to fish, bottom of a slope. Fish seem to patrol along that line, so that's the reason I'm out exactly where I am at the minute. It's slightly more uncomfortable because I'm fishing a little bit to the right of where I would normally like to be, but I feel that's where the fish are going to want to be, so that's the reason for starting there. I'm going to keep pinging a few 4 mils over the top. I mean, it may be that toss potting micros or a few pellets would be the way to go, but I just want to feel my way in like this for now, and we can see how we go, and we can always change. Also, there's a chance of, I've seen 1 or 2 fish swirling. Another reason I want to keep pinging, because if we get them coming up in the water, we've got a shallow rig here that we can target a little bit later on. Well, there you go. After getting loads and loads of little dinks and indications and knocks and losing that other one just now, which was the same size as the first one, I was assuming that we were going to be inundated with little tiny stocky fish, and the very next fish, it's a much better one. Certainly pulling back a bit, and yeah, a bit of a shock because all those little dinks seem to suggest that there were just tiny fish there, but this isn't a tiny fish. This is where this elastic is lovely. It's great for those little tiny fish, but also it's still got a bit of power and reserve when you've pulled the strip back like I have here for these better fish. Wow, look at that mirror. Beautiful hard fighting. There we go. What a lovely second fish that one is. Probably around 4 pounds, I would think, that one. What a lovely fish that is there. Second fish, that's about 4 pounds. And yeah, lovely. So it's slowed down quite a bit now on that long line, 13 metre line. Been getting a little bit skitty, foul hooked a couple of fish. So I've been loose feeding 4 mils out of the hand here at 5 metres. And so time to give this a go now and see what happens here. I've been throwing 4 mil pellets out of the hand at 5 metres since we started, and that 13 metre line's slowed right down there. We were catching quite quickly on it. And so I think the time now is right to come in and have a go on this 4 metre line, 5 metre line, to see what happens here. Oh. And there you go. First chuck on that 5 metre line, and we're into a fish, and it feels like a better fish as well. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, with that 13 metre line had slowed right down. Been loose feeding 4 mils at 5 metres here, first drop on it, and we're into a better fish straight away, which just goes to show that if you are starting to struggle on one line, then don't leave it too long before you change. This is a better fish, and it's making its way into the middle of the lake, and ooh. Amazing. So let's keep the feed going in while we're playing this fish. And you can see how soft this elastic is. Look at this, look. It's taking off again. Here we go. Are we going to add on? Are we not? We're hanging on. We're going to add? No. It's coming back. We've all done it, haven't we? Gone to add on the sexual. No, we'll hang on. Ping. Off it goes. But we're okay at the minute. So this feels like a good fish. But we are on quite light gear. Light elastic, it's going again. That's the beauty of this puller system, is that you can let it go a bit. Oh, beauty. Look at that first drop on that short 5 metre line. You've got an absolute beauty there. That's a good £6. Lovely fish. And that just goes to show the beauty of keeping that second line going, gives you somewhere to go, and what a result. So with this right hand margin edge, I've periodically dropped in and just some micro pellets, a few 6mm pellets, a few maggots, just to give them something to munch on. I'm fishing a 6mm banded pellet on a little 0.2 with a bulk quite close to the hook. It's a fairly positive rig, which you need to be fishing down the edge. And yeah, that's an encouraging start. Small fish first chuck, but the float is moving about as we speak. It's a lovely looking edge. It's a nice depth as well. It's about 2 foot deep. Perfect for this sort of fishing. I think what I'm going to do after this, when I come in this time, I'm going to put a toss pot on the pole and just drop a small amount of bait in each drop in. So probably a little thumbnail of micros and maybe a couple of 6mm pellets. Just to keep food going in rather than pinging. I don't want to be pinging pellets along the bank and having them crawling up the grass and so on. So I think I'm going to try be a bit more accurate. And I say it's first drop in after feeding. So I think if I'm going to carry on fishing this, I am going to stick a toss pot on and just drop a little bit of bait in each time. Hopefully we get 1 or 2 better fish. So first drop in after putting the big pot in, we've had a fish. I said I was looking really to feed it constantly now with the toss pot. Not had anything now for a few minutes. The float hasn't moved for a few minutes, so I think probably need to get some bait in. So let's come in and do that straight away. Right, at the moment I'm fishing a 6mm banded pellet, so I'm going to drop a couple or 3 pellets in there. I'm just going to plug it with some damp down micros. That stops the pellets bouncing out, and it's a nice little attraction for the fish to get their heads down over. Drop that in right where we're going to fish it. That's there. I say it's quite a positive rig. It's just a bulk above a 4-inch hook length, and see what happens. The elastic I've been using in the open waters, the Fighter 1.8, which has been perfect for the mix of fish we've caught here. I mean, it's handled the 6-pounder we had, no problem at all, and also those little stockies. I'm using a 2.1 Fighter down the edge here. It's a little bit strong. We just need to pull the fish away from the bankside cover a bit quicker, and also we're likely to get, hopefully, bigger fish here as well. So that's the theory. And we're in straight away. Oh, and it's come off. That fish came straight into that little toss potted knob of feed there, so I think that's the way we're going to go. Now I might have to come back in and go back out fairly quickly, because obviously that fish has come in straight away to my little drop of feed, but I've missed the bite or hooked the fish and it's come off, so that might well have spooked whatever's there away. And we might need to come back in fairly quickly, so I'm just going to give it another minute maybe, and then come in and rebait. The beauty of fishing this toss pot down the edge is you can be really, really accurate. I've got a lovely little marker in the far bank there, and that's right on the money. I don't think it hurts to ping pellets over there when you're not fishing it and you're not planning on fishing it for a time, because it just generally gets fish in the area. But once you start going on it, I think you need to be much, much more accurate, which is where this toss pot comes into its own. And again, there's a fish there straight away. Just goes to prove that that's that little bit of feed they're coming into. It's only a small fish. It's one of those little stocky carp. You know, I still can't believe this time last year I was in swimming shorts and flip-flops, and it's a long run of cold weather we've been having, isn't it? So it's be nice to get some sunshine out again. I always get tempted when edge fishing to fill it in down the edge. It just seems a natural instinct in me to want to fill it in and put loads of bait in, but I think with the water being so cold it's not the right thing to do now, which is why I'm going down this toss pot route. But certainly when it gets warmer, here we go. I sort of just can't help myself filling it in down the edge, and it's worked so many times as well, particularly for when you're fishing for big carp. Definitely not right for these small fish. Oh, lovely F1. Mind you, still put a weight together of these if you were catching those quickly. So we're back on the short line again now. Did have a few fish up the edge. It's still very, very cold, and I don't think they're ready to settle up there just yet. So went a couple of drops in without any signs, so felt it was time to come back in on this short line. Had a little stocky straight away, and we're just going to keep loose feeding a few pellets out there, and hopefully get a few more here. Well, I've had a great day here at Lavender Hall Fishery. It's my first time here, and caught some beautiful little fish, all sizes really, from 10, 12 ounces right up to about 6 pounds. Beautiful, perfectly conditioned little stockies. I've brought with me maggots, casters, pellets, sweet corn, ground bait, everything. I've used a handful of 4mm pellets, a few nice little coloured hookers, I've picked out a few fish, and it's been a great day. It's been really good. The weather is looking now as if it's going to really come down, and one of the beauties of just doing a little session like this is that we can get off before the rain gets here. But I tell you what, the fishing's been fantastic. The coffee, mamma mia, the coffee is fantastic, and it's a great place. Lavender Hall, so they've got a fantastic tackle shop, cafe. The fishing, I will certainly be back here to fish again.